Polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS, is a women's health condition that more people need to be aware of because it affects roughly 1 in 10 women of childbearing age. And it's not just irregular periods. PCOS is an imbalance of reproductive hormones, which leads to problems in the ovaries. And while experiencing heavy or irregular periods is a common symptom, there are many other symptoms of PCOS, ranging from mild to severe, that can significantly impact on the lives of women suffering from it. For some, PCOS can lead to painful cysts developing on the ovaries due to the body not creating enough hormones to ovulate. It can also lead to infertility, hair loss, acne, weight gain, sleep problems, and an increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes. The exact cause of PCOS is unknown, but research suggests that there may be a genetic link. While polycystic ovary syndrome cannot be cured, the symptoms can be managed. And one of the best ways to manage and improve these symptoms is through your diet. Because while the wrong foods can make the hormone imbalance and PCOS symptoms worse, the right foods can help to restore hormone balance and relieve symptoms. So that's what we're covering today in this video. The 12 worst foods for polycystic ovary syndrome and why. While some of the foods on this list may seem obvious, others may come as a surprise. For example, did you know that some vegetables can make PCOS worse? It turns out that not all vegetables are PCOS friendly. By cutting these 12 foods out of your diet, you may notice a significant improvement in your PCOS symptoms. But first, could you do us a favor and subscribe to our channel? We at Women's Wellness aim to deliver the latest news on women's health. By subscribing and ringing the bell for notifications, you'll be the first to see our videos. And by liking and sharing this video, you'll help to spread the word to other women. Also, keep watching to learn how you can get a free gift on us. Now, on with the video. The 12 worst foods for PCOS. Number 12. Fried foods. Let's start with one that's obvious. Fried foods. They are packed with unhealthy saturated fats that can agitate PCOS and cause inflammation. Not to mention, fried foods add unnecessary calories, which can contribute to weight gain. Studies have also linked overeating fried foods to the development of diabetes and heart disease. If you're overweight, losing weight can help to improve your PCOS symptoms, and cutting out fried foods is a great first step. Instead, look for healthier alternatives. Grill your chicken instead of frying, and swap French fries for steamed vegetables and brown rice. Wherever possible, go for the non-fried option. The next food on this list is something obvious as well. Number 11. Sweets. Unfortunately, eating sweets can make PCOS symptoms much worse. They are packed with simple sugars and carbs, which cause your blood sugar levels to spike. In turn, this causes insulin levels to rise. This is particularly problematic because women with PCOS have difficulty balancing their insulin levels. When insulin is too high, it can cause the body to produce too much testosterone. This can lead to symptoms such as excess body hair, acne, scalp hair loss, and ovulation problems. A high sugar diet also increases inflammation and increases the risk of developing diabetes. Of course, if you have a sweet tooth, giving it up completely is usually easier said than done, especially because when you have PCOS, the high amounts of insulin your body produces can lead to sugar cravings. Sometimes, trying to cut it out altogether can lead to binge eating. So the key is to find a happy medium. Look for sweet options that can satisfy your craving, yet have a low impact on your body. For instance, natural whole fruit, stevia or other natural sweeteners, homemade keto treats that are packed with fiber, protein, and healthy fats, or dark chocolate. Now that we have the obvious foods out of the way, let's get into some more surprising and controversial foods. Number 10. Caffeinated drinks. Whether or not you should cut out caffeine is a much debated topic in the PCOS community. Why? Because research suggests that caffeine can have both negative effects and benefits when it comes to PCOS. So let's explore those and why caffeine still made it onto the list. First, the negatives. Consuming a cup of coffee has an immediate effect on insulin sensitivity and can make your body more insulin resistant. This can lead to excess insulin being produced, which, as we talked about earlier, is not good news for PCOS sufferers. However, on the other hand, some studies have shown that regular coffee consumption can help to lower the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Confusing, huh? Then there's fertility. Drinking a lot of coffee or caffeinated drinks, 4 or more cups per day, is linked to decreased fertility. The exact reason for this is unknown, but given that PCOS already impacts on fertility, caffeine is probably best avoided, especially for women who are looking to conceive. Finally, caffeine is known to stimulate the adrenal glands. Looking after the adrenals is extremely important for women with PCOS, because the adrenal glands play an important role in hormone production, including testosterone and the stress hormones cortisol and adrenaline. Caffeine can trigger the adrenal glands to produce more hormones and activate a stress response. This can cause your blood pressure and heart rate to rise, which can lead to an adrenal burnout and worsened PCOS symptoms. However, caffeine can have some benefits when consumed in moderation. It can boost your metabolism, improve depression symptoms, and it contains anti-inflammatory antioxidants. So, what should you do? If you're regularly having caffeinated drinks such as coffee, the first order of business should be to cut back on these a bit. If you notice improvements, then great. If not, then you could try cutting them out entirely and see how you feel after a couple of weeks. One alternative is to switch to decaf and look for other ways to feel energetic. Sunlight, hydration, and exercise are all natural ways to energize yourself. Number 9. Alcohol. Should you pour that glass of wine? Here's why you should think twice. Fatty liver disease can affect up to 55% of women with PCOS. This is when your liver accumulates excess fat, leading to poor liver health. Fatty liver disease can be a symptom of alcoholism, but it can also occur in non-alcoholics as well. As you probably know, alcohol isn't the best for your liver. If you have PCOS, even a little can increase your risk of fatty liver disease. The combination of fatty liver disease and alcohol can also put you at risk for cardiovascular disease. The bottom line is, cutting back on alcohol can improve PCOS symptoms and decrease your risk of developing related health conditions. If you often find yourself reaching for a glass of wine to unwind, try out some healthier alternatives that give you that same feeling of relaxation. For instance, putting some music on, taking a bath, or blocking out some me time to read your book or watch your favorite TV show. Number 8. Processed meats. Processed meats are any meats that are smoked or cured. These include bacon, sausage, pepperoni, salami, hot dogs, or anything of the sort. These meats tend to be bad for PCOS due to their high saturated fat content and sodium. Too many saturated fats may raise your blood pressure and LDL, the bad cholesterol, which can worsen PCOS symptoms. Excess sodium can raise your blood pressure as well. According to the American Heart Association, 9 out of 10 Americans overconsume sodium. The average amount of sodium consumed daily is 3,400 milligrams. Want to know how much sodium you should have daily? Only 1,500 milligrams. So when it comes to meat, the best way to go is always organic, lean cuts of meat in their unprocessed form. Rather than buying pre-flavored meats, try adding your own low-salt seasonings and marinades at home. And for a quick and easy lunch option, leftover sliced roast chicken is great for putting into sandwiches or salads. Up next is another hotly debated food. Number 7. Dairy. Dairy is another food that's complicated in regards to PCOS. Dairy has calcium and healthy proteins. Both of these help to keep your bones and body strong. Also, yogurt can help with digestion due to its probiotics or good bacteria. One of the issues with dairy comes with the link between acne and dairy. More specifically, research has suggested a link between non-fat milk and acne. This is according to a study from the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. Why non-fat milk? Low or non-fat milk contains insulin-like growth factor. This is a hormone that can lead to acne. Acne is a common PCOS symptom, and dairy may make it worse. Also, dairy may mess with your insulin and estrogen levels, which could also worsen PCOS symptoms. However, the science on dairy is still out. We recommend trying to limit your dairy intake and replacing any low-fat sources with whole milk alternatives with no added sugars. For instance, natural Greek yogurt. That way, you may get the benefits without any of the negatives. Number 6. Refined grains. Another food that isn't good for PCOS symptoms. Refined grains. These are types of bread, rice, and pasta that have had parts of the grain removed for texture purposes. For instance, white bread. This refining process cuts out valuable nutrition, most notably fiber. The reason why refined grains can make PCOS symptoms worse is due to their lack of fiber. Fiber helps to slow down the absorption of carbs and sugars. On the other hand, refined grains contain simple carbohydrates, which can spike your blood sugar and cause problems with insulin. However, you may not need to cut out bread entirely. Instead, switch to options such as whole grain bread, brown rice, or whole grain pasta. And when it comes to any of these carb-heavy foods, try to balance them with foods that contain healthy fats and protein. Now, before we count down the final 5, it's time to tell you how to get your free gift. Boost your energy and lift your mood with our free book, 25 Energy Boosting Superfoods for Women. This handy book is packed with energy boosting tips and advice. Simply click the link in the description below to claim your copy. And here's number 5 on our list of foods that can worsen PCOS. Number 5. Sodas. Another drink that can agitate your PCOS symptoms is soda. Americans drink a whopping 45 gallons of soda every year. As I'm sure you already know, each can of soda is packed with sugars and carbs. Many sodas also have added caffeine. As mentioned earlier, cutting back on caffeine may relieve your symptoms. Your best bet is to cut out sodas entirely from your diet. However, if you love pop, you should try mixing your own soda water with natural lemon or lime juice at home. Though it may take a while to adjust to the lack of sweetness, with time you may find it is a much more refreshing alternative. Alternatively, you could add a little natural sweetener, such as stevia. Next up, here's a drink that many think is healthy. Number 4. Fruit juices. In some ways, this one can be worse for your PCOS than soda. Fruit juices can seem like the healthier alternative. However, studies have shown that fruit juices and soda have similar fructose content. In other words, they can make your blood sugar spike and mess with your insulin levels. Many fruit juices also have added sugars. Isn't natural fruit sugar enough already? Apparently not. Also, fruit juice isn't as good as its whole fruit counterparts due to the lack of fiber. When you eat whole fruits, they have plenty of fiber to slow down sugar absorption. In their juice form, most of the fiber has been removed, so opt for eating whole fruits instead. Now, we look at the final 3 foods which can worsen PCOS symptoms, and what better way to start but with another controversial food. Number 3. Potatoes. Wait, I hear you say, aren't all vegetables meant to be good for you? Well, yes, but potatoes are a particularly starchy vegetable, and are considered to not be a great choice for women with PCOS. This is because they contain a lot of carbs and lack fiber. Excess potato consumption is the culprit. On average, an American consumes over 100 pounds yearly. Europeans consume double that. If you love your potatoes, try to cut back and switch to better alternatives when possible. For example, sweet potatoes are a much better choice for PCOS sufferers. They are lower on the glycemic index than regular potatoes, meaning they are less likely to make your blood sugar spike. They are also higher in fiber and contain more antioxidants, including vitamins A and C. And when it comes to those packets of potato crisps, try to avoid those as much as possible. They have little nutritional value, are fried, and are addictive. Not to mention they are packed with calories, saturated fats, and carbs. Oven-baked veggie chips with a tasty dip can be a great alternative when you get that potato chip craving. Number 2. Pizza. Pizza made this list because it's usually topped with problematic foods including too much salt, sugary sauces, refined grains, and processed meats. Most pizzas have refined grains and an abundance of processed meats and cheeses such as pepperoni, ham, or sausage. These types of foods can agitate your PCOS symptoms. The average American eats nearly 50 slices of pizza a year. For some, 50 slices is a month's work. However, not all pizza is created equal. You can make healthier pizzas using a whole grain or cauliflower crust. Cauliflower-based pizza bases are becoming more popular as of late due to their low calorie and carb content. Top it with your choice of vegetables such as mushrooms, spinach, tomatoes, and peppers. And instead of the processed meat, try opting for some shredded free-range chicken. You can also make your own pizza sauce using natural tomato paste and your preferred selection of herbs. Pizzas certainly can be healthy when made this way, but try to limit takeout and store-bought pizzas as much as possible. Now, for our final food to avoid. Number 1. Sugary cereals. Many packaged cereals are made from refined grains with added sugars on top. Though they may claim to have nutritional value through added vitamins, the bottom line is there are much healthier ways to start your day. These refined, processed cereals do the same thing that other refined foods on this list do. Skyrocket your blood sugar, throw out your insulin levels, and disrupt your hormones, all of which function to worsen your PCOS symptoms. But like with many foods on this list, you don't need to stop eating cereal altogether. You might just need to opt for better alternatives. Look for whole grain cereals that have a low sugar content. Homemade oatmeal with some fresh fruit on top is a great option. While it can be tempting to indulge in a cereal that's almost like candy, resist the urge. Okay, that concludes our top 12 foods that can significantly worsen PCOS symptoms. But we're not finished yet. Now, here are some quick diet tips that support healthy hormone balance and help to relieve PCOS symptoms. Number 1. Balance carbs, proteins, and fats. For managing polycystic ovary syndrome, a balanced diet is crucial. For instance, we talked earlier about how whole grains are much better for you than refined grains. However, eating too much of them can still agitate your symptoms. So always try to balance carbohydrates with healthy proteins and fats. And remember, fiber is your friend. The key is to eat a balanced diet that naturally keeps your blood sugar levels at bay and supports healthy hormones. As we talked about, even the worst foods can be good for you when they're in the best form. For example, organic, whole milk, dairy, and homemade pizza. Number 2. Increase your fruit and vegetable intake. It's a bit of a no-brainer, but fresh fruits and vegetables are full of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that help to support hormone balance and reduce inflammation. Plus, their fiber content helps to keep blood sugars at bay. Though fruit contains natural sugars, it's a much better alternative to any sweet processed snacks. Number 3. Drink plenty of water. Keeping your body well hydrated is key when it comes to managing PCOS. PCOS can cause low mood and irritability, and dehydration only makes this worse. By drinking water regularly throughout the day, you will support your body's digestion, energy, fat burning, and hormone balance. Number 4. Make as much of your own food as possible. As we've talked about, homemade almost always wins out over store-bought from a health perspective. Making as much of your own food as possible helps to avoid unnecessary chemicals, additives, salt, saturated fats, and sugar, all of which can worsen PCOS symptoms. Living with PCOS can be a struggle. However, by being mindful of what we eat, we can minimize the symptoms. Managing PCOS is often a combination of healthy lifestyle changes and medical treatment. Besides, a healthy diet, regular exercise, and getting plenty of sleep will also help to keep symptoms at bay. If you suspect you may have PCOS, it's important to talk to your doctor to evaluate your symptoms and come up with a plan that's right for you. We hope this video was helpful. Now that you've watched it, make sure you go to the description below and grab your free gift. Give this video a thumbs up and ring that bell for notifications so we can keep you up to date with more videos to help you on your health journey. Thanks for watching.